Hello and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world. Let's begin. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is attending the second Asia-Pacific Ministerial Conference on Civil Aviation at Bharat Mandapam in the capital. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also attended an exhibition at the Conference on Civil Aviation. India's Civil Aviation Minister Kinjarapu Ram Mohan Naidu was also present on the occasion. India's Prime Minister announced the Delhi Declaration that represents a significant step forward in advancing safety, security and sustainability in the Asia-Pacific civil aviation sector. The Civil Aviation Ministers' Conference brings together transport and aviation ministers, regulatory bodies and industry experts from across the Asia-Pacific region. Civil Aviation Ministers' Conference also focuses on addressing key challenges such as infrastructure development, sustainability and workforce development while fostering greater collaboration between the public and private sectors. The conference was addressed by India's Minister of Civil Aviation Kinjarapu Ram Mohan Naidu, who highlighted the spirit of cooperation that exists among the countries of the region. India's Union Cabinet, chaired by the Prime Minister, approved PM Electric Drive Revolution in Innovative Vehicle Enhancement Scheme for promotion of electric mobility in the country. In the North Indian Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Thursday was the last date for filing of nominations for the third phase of Assembly elections. Jammu and Kashmir goes to the polls for its 90-member assembly in 3 phases. Voting begins on the 18th of September in Jammu and Kashmir and results will be declared on 8th of October. India's Enforcement Directorate on Thursday conducted search operations at 4 locations in connection to an alleged financial irregularity involving RG Kar Medical College and Hospital in the eastern Indian state of West Bengal. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh attended the ongoing Tarang Shakti exercise at Jodhpur Air Force Station in northwest India's Rajasthan. Rajnath Singh, along with the 3 Army Chiefs of Indian and the Chiefs of Foreign Air Forces, also observed the Tarang Shakti exercise at Rajasthan's Jodhpur Air Force Station. Air forces of 7 major countries, USA, Japan, Australia, Singapore, Sri Lanka and the UAE along with Greece are participating in this exercise. 16 countries are also participating in the exercise as observers. On the sidelines of Tarang Shakti 2024 in Jodhpur, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated the Indian Defence Aviation Exposition IDAX 24 on Thursday. The 3-day event aims at showcasing indigenous skills and an indomitable spirit of Indian aviation industries to a wide spectrum of decision makers and users from global air forces. The 5th edition of the exercise AI Naja 2024 between India and Oman will be taking place at Rabku Training Area in Salalah, Oman from the 13th till the 27th of September. Nominations for the prestigious Padma Awards 2025 are ongoing and will close on the 15th of September. The nominations were opened on 1st of May this year and will be received online only. And now it's time to take you through a video where Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with India's Paralympics contingent. So those were the snippets of the visuals where Prime Minister Narendra Modi held an interactive session with India's Paralympics contingent that returned back to India with a rich medal haul of 29 medals in hand. Moving on, leader of the Communist Party of India, Marxist Sitaram Yechuri, passed away at 72 on Thursday due to a pneumonia-like chest infection in New Delhi. India's benchmark equity indices BSE Sensex and NSE Nifty ended Thursday's trading session at record high closing levels with gains of over 1% each. The BSE Sensex added 1,439.55 points to settle at 82,962.71. The index hit an all-time high of 83,116.19 during the intraday trade. Nifty 52 settled higher at 25,389, up 470.45 points. The index hit an all-time high of 25,433.35 during intraday trade. The Indian rupee traded in a narrow range to settle at 4 paise higher at 83.95 against the US dollar on Thursday amid a positive trend in domestic equities and foreign fund inflows. Oil prices rose about 2% on Thursday, extending a rebound spurred by concerns over Hurricane Franklin's impact on US output. Brent crude futures for November rose $1.25 to $71.85 a barrel, while US crude futures for October were up $1.26 at $68.57. The European Central Bank is certain to cut interest rates again on Thursday, but with inflation risk simmering despite anemic growth, investors will be combing its message for clues on further easing. The ECB had lowered its deposit rate to 3.75% back in June, and an array of policymakers backed another cut as seen again on Thursday. US presidential candidate for 2024, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump resumed their campaign trail after fiery debate. Both Harris and Trump are heading to crucial battleground states for campaigning that will decide November's vote, 2 days after Harris forced Republican Trump onto the defensive in a fiery clash. Meanwhile, the debate between US Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump drew a stunning viewership, surpassing the 51 million who watched the June debate between Trump and President Joe Biden. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced more than $700 million in aid for Ukraine during a visit to Kyiv at a critical juncture in Ukraine's struggle against Russia. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andrei Sybiha and British Foreign Secretary David Lammy Blinken unveiled new support but no breakthrough on the long-range strikes into Russia. Blinken and Lammy met Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, reiterating the call for allies to loosen limits on the use of Western-supplied weapons and long-range missiles to limit Moscow's ability to launch attacks. The US and UK have not given Ukraine permission to use long-range missiles against targets inside Russia for fear of escalation. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Thursday met Poland's leader to forge a common cause on Ukraine. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken met Polish Foreign Minister and is set to meet Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk and President Andrzej Duda in Warsaw. Kremlin said on Thursday that letting Ukraine use Western weaponry to strike Russian territory would deepen Western involvement in the conflict and trigger a reaction from Moscow. The Russian Navy and the Chinese Navy have begun a week-long large-scale exercise called Ocean 2024, which includes over 400 warships, submarines and support vessels, over 120 naval aircraft and more than 90,000 personnel. Both Russia and Ukraine have been engaged in offensives against each other. Russian drones targeted the northern Ukrainian town of Konotov's energy infrastructure in an overnight retaliatory attack on Thursday. Russia's drone strikes comes a day after Ukraine struck Moscow in its biggest drone attack so far on the Russian capital, killing at least one woman, wrecking dozens of homes and forcing around 50 flights to be diverted from airports around Moscow. In Pakistan, the Islamabad High Court has fixed the hearing of Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan's petition seeking to stop his potential handover to the military for a trial. The court will hear Khan's plea on Thursday. The race to become Japan's next Prime Minister kicks off after country's ruling party unveils the 9 candidates who will contest on 27th of September's leadership election. Whoever wins the Liberal Democratic Party leadership elections will succeed Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, whose 3-year term will end this month with various political scandals. The Japanese government has condemned North Korea after Pyongyang fired multiple short-range ballistic missiles at its coast. Thailand's new Prime Minister Pentongarn Shinawatra delivered a policy statement to the parliament announcing a giveaway of $13.4 billion in handouts to jumpstart growth in the country. The key economic policies has been criticized by economists and former central bank governors, saying schemes are fiscally irresponsible for the nation. Spain's Prime Minister Sanchez met Venezuela President candidate Edmundo González at Moncloa Palace in Spain. He is currently seeking political asylum in Spain after disputed presidential elections in Venezuela. Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer has promised a 10-year plan to fix the UK's National Health Service. The state-run NHS has been in crisis since COVID-19 pandemic. Pope Francis presided over a mass in Singapore's National Stadium for the final leg of his 12-day tour across Southeast Asia and Oceania. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell met Lebanon's caretaker Prime Minister to discuss regional challenges from institutional transition during his 2-day visit to Lebanon. The Australian government has decided to strip military awards from group of war veterans who under their command committed unlawful killings in Afghanistan. Thousands of people took to the streets of Bolivian cities to protest the wildfires that have devastated more than 4 million hectares. Firefighters, police and the armed forces mobilized to Bolivia's soil-producing Santa Cruz region to combat relentless wildfires that have ravaged farmland for weeks now. Thailand ramped up search and rescue efforts in the country's northern Chiang Rai province on Thursday as rising floodwaters engulfed the heart of the city. Thailand's one of the famous cave Tham Luang is also facing its worst flooding in 13 years after the mountain range was lashed by torrential rain. Residents in Vietnam's flood-stricken Thai Nguyen city began to clean up their homes on Thursday as floodwaters gradually receded, days after Typhoon Yagi slammed into the Southeast Asian nations. Hurricane Franklin struck the Louisiana coast Thursday morning as a dangerous Category 2 storm that rapidly knocked out electricity to thousands and threatened widespread flooding. The hurricane lost some of its strength after it made a landfall and it had weakened to a Category 1 hurricane now. Western U.S. state of California continued to battle 3 wildfires surrounding Los Angeles. Indian Meteorological Department issued red alert for heavy showers on Thursday in North India's Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh and central Indian state of Madhya Pradesh. Meanwhile, Haryana and Delhi are on orange alert. India's Cabinet Committee has approved Mission Mausam with an outlay of 2,000 crore rupees. Its focus is to provide highly accurate and timely weather and climate information. Billionaire entrepreneur Jed Isaacman and SpaceX employee Sarah Gillis steps out of the SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule for the first ever private spacewalk. On the 10th of September earlier, SpaceX has launched its Polaris Dawn mission carrying 4-member civilian crew for the first ever spacewalk by non-professional astronauts. Spacecraft carrying an American astronaut and 2 Russian cosmonauts took off from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan and is successfully docked with the International Space Station. European glass-making brand Viralia has launched its first 100% electric-powered glass furnace at its Cognac facility in France. This step is expected to reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 60% compared to traditional furnaces. Europe's privacy watchdog is investigating Google over its processing of personal data in the development of one of its artificial intelligence models. Ireland's Data Protection Commission, responsible for enforcing the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, has launched a statutory inquiry into the tech giant's Pathways language model, PAM2. Georgian motorsport competitor Georgi took to the waves of the coast of Georgia, riding 33 kilometers on the surface of the water on his modified motorcycle. Australia's Canberra is all geared up for the opening of annual Floreat Flower Festival. Organisers are hoping to break records and bring more than 450,000 people from across the country to attend the event. New York commemorated the 9/11 attacks by illuminating 2 beams of light at the place of Twin Towers. As conflict in Ukraine wanes the labor force, businesses are trying to cover critical shortages by hiring more women in traditionally male-dominated roles and turning to teenagers, students and older workers. 100 years after acquiring one of Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers, Britain's National Gallery in London brought by his vision to life by showcasing 3 works side by side for the first time. In honor of its official 50th birthday this September, the London Doordarshan has opened its archive for the first time, sharing a selection of the weirdest objects and real-life ghost stories from within its walls to the lead up to Halloween. The new Guinness World Records 2025 edition is released on Thursday with records on display ranging from the largest electric toothbrush to a collection of walkie vehicles to the largest hands and feet of a teenager. 16 years old Eric Kilburn, the junior from America, is one of those who made the book wearing size 23 shoes that took the record for the largest hands and feet on a teenager. In the United Kingdom, winners include Ruth Amos and Sean Brown, who made an electric toothbrush over 6 feet high. Other record holders include Irish magician Celine O'Connor, who holds the record for most magic tricks in a minute for under 16s. From India, Sudhakar's museum in Hyderabad, run up by 68 years old Sudhakar, held the record for the largest collection of wacky vehicles in a museum, with some made from items like cricket bats and a snooker table. A unique decoration titled Vishwa Ganesh Darshan is on display in the Western Indian state of Maharashtra. The Vishwa Ganesh Darshan displays 108 replicas of Lord Ganesha, each crafted from a variety of materials such as musical instruments, utensils, farm and carpentry tools, soft toys and more. The holy Indian city of Ayodhya will soon add another attraction to its list of must-visit places. Ram Sita Bhul Bhulaiya or Ram Sita Maze is being built in the North Indian temple city under the Smart City scheme. Some of the biggest global music stars, including Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Sabrina Carpenter and more, took to the stage at the MTV Video Music Awards in New York. The pop superstar Taylor Swift won Video of the Year, the top honors at the Music Awards, for her music video Fortnite featuring Post Malone. Hollywood singer and actress Sabrina Carpenter secures her first ever Song of the Year for her single hit Espresso at the MTV's annual Music Awards. Oscar winner Denzel Washington and his sons walked the red carpet for the worldwide premiere of their new drama film called The Piano Lesson at the Toronto International Film Festival. At this year's Ariel Awards ceremony at the Mexico City, nominees are encouraged to wear eco-friendly and sustainable outfits on the red carpet from their film production sets. James Holcroft, 26-year-old actor famous for his role in Comodai's El Dijo, was found dead days after he went missing in Mexico City. Comedian turned host Veer Das becomes the first Indian to host International Emmy Awards this year, which will take place on the 25th of November in New York City. The lead vocalist of the Rajasthani folk band Bama Boys, Mange Khan, affectionately known as Manga, passes away at the age of 49 after undergoing a heart surgery. Kareena Kapoor Khan's much-awaited crime thriller film called The Buckingham Murders is all set to hit the big screens on the 13th of September this year. After delivering blockbuster hits like the KGF franchisee and Kantara, Homebill Films is all set to release its next big project titled Bakshira, featuring roaring star Sri Murali. Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with India's Paralympics contingent today at his residence in New Delhi. Team India returned with a rich medal haul, bagging 29 medals, including 7 gold. Union Sports Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya met International Tennis Hall of Famer Leander Paes to discuss the future of Indian sports. At a felicitation ceremony, Indian Oil announced scholarship for para-athletes and para-games, including monthly scholarship, medical insurance and sports kits in New Delhi. The Election Commission of India felicitated para-archers Sheetal Devi and Rakesh Kumar for their outstanding achievements in winning a bronze medal at the Paris Paralympics. Defending champions India toppled South Korea by 3-1 to register their 4th consecutive victory at the Hero Asian Champions Trophy. The Indian men's team started Chess Olympiad with a clean sweep against Morocco in the opening round of Budapest. Spain beat Czech Republic by 3-0 as they began their Davis Cup Finals group stage campaign with a victory. Commonwealth Games bronze medalists Risa Joly and Gayatri Gopichand suffered an exit from the Hong Kong Open after losing in the pre-quarter-final round. Netherlands battled Germany to a compelling 2-2 draw in the Nations League Group A3 match in Amsterdam. And England captain Harry Kane, who received his 100th cap, steered his team to a comfortable 2-0 victory over Finland in UEFA Nations League. And that's all in Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.